Hey everybody, welcome back to Card Curiosity, where we try to find the best possible ways to make a good return on your investment in the sports card world. And we have another Rip It or Skip It episode for you here, where we break down whether or not we should be opening a particular product and expecting to get a good return on our investment from it. So today's video, we are going to look at 2024 Topps Big League Baseball hobby boxes. So these were just released. It's one of the earlier products that comes out every single year when it comes to baseball, and it's a cheap product, less than $50 for a hobby box. You have the potential to get autographs, and so let's break this down. Let's figure out exactly what kind of cards we can expect and whether it makes sense to buy these, to rip them, to have fun with them, and if you can make a return on your investment. So you can see from the pictures here what some of these cards are going to look like. You are going to have, the Elly De La Cruz rookie cards here. That's going to be kind of the big hunt, in my opinion, is to try and find Elly. We are, of course, looking for cards that are gradable, and as with every set, there's probably only a handful of big name players such as Shohei, such as Elly, maybe Evan Carter. Those are the ones we're looking for and hoping for to potentially be able to grade. So to start out, we're going to look through kind of the four criteria that we use to evaluate whether we should rip or skip a product. First is the checklist. Then we're going to look at the gradability, whether we can get potentially PSA 10s from these cards on a consistent basis. Next, we have the staying power, just to see if the price of these cards is going to hold up over long periods of time. And then finally, just the cost of the product, whether it's a good value, I guess, for the price. So let's jump into this checklist to start with. We're looking for smaller checklists of big players. That gives us an edge, kind of, because if you have a lot of cards and a lot of no-name players that you don't really want, then the chances of getting a hit of somebody that's important is very small. So you can see here we have a 310 card base set, which is a lot. 200 of them are common. Okay, so that basically 200 common cards, and then you start to get into some more rare ones. You have foil cards from card 200 to 250. Then you get blue foils, red foil, and the legendary gold foil. And so, like, instead of it being like a particular player like an Elly, like this card right here, you're not going to get different color foils of this particular card. It's actually going to be a totally different card and a different card number when you do pull the more rare ones here. So we'll get into that. You have, it says there's 10 redemption cards, good for a complete set of cracked ice parallels. That'd be pretty cool if you could grab that. There are black foil cards out of 25 and foil fractor 1 of 1s. And you do get autographs. You got autographs, you have inserts. The autographs, veteran autos are 1 in every 136 packs, so 1 in 8 boxes. Some of the autographs are going to be pretty rare. You've got the short prints called Game Day Drip. So, there's potential to get hits, but it can be pretty rare, and the checklist is pretty big. You also have the mascot cards, which are pretty fun. So let's take a look. Let's see what names we have. Shohei here, number 1. Let's see. You're going to have a lot of guys you don't necessarily know. Bobby Witt Jr., Elly De La Cruz. So this checklist doesn't indicate whether they're rookies or not. But you can see as we scroll down and get further and further, here you get into, the uncommon rainbow foil cards. You can see some of these guys. Then you have the blue foil. That's going to be a smaller list. Then you're going to have the super rare red foil. And, again, just a handful there. And then the gold foil, they go into usually retired players and stuff here. So the autographs, I think that's the big chase here, is you can actually get your hands on some autographs. I believe it's 1 in every 3 boxes on average you can get an auto. And you do have Elly, you do have Tanner Bibby, you have let's see, I don't know if Shohei's on here for the autos or not. But Corbin Carroll, some of the big guys are going to be here on the autos. Uncommon autos, big league autographs. So they have different versions of autographs. So you have the potential to get a big autograph. potential to get an autograph of somebody not so big as well. But yeah, that's how the checklist breaks down. If I had to give it a grade, or point system, if we use a 5-point system, I'd probably give it like a 3 out of 5 on the checklist, because there is potential to get good cards. Next, let's move on to the gradability and the gem rate of this product. So we don't have much to go on other than last year. So if we look at last year's Topps Big League, you'll see that in general, like the base cards gemmed at around a 50% clip. Roll call, which is an insert, another insert here. Those are all in the 40 to 50% range. The hobby influencer, which that's a whole nother story, but you can get hobby influencers cards, those gemmed a little bit better. Autograph wise, same thing, right around that 50% level. Now, we did pull an autograph last year from this product, a nice David Ortiz one, and we were able to send that in and get a 10 on it. So that was it's possible, and but I guess there's no guarantee. If you do pull a big autograph, that doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be in good enough shape to get a 10. It's kind of 50-50. So for gradability, we give this maybe a 3 out of 5 as well. Not great, not terrible, kind of right in the middle. So let's look at the staying power and see whether these cards, the value can kind of stay over long periods of time. What I have here, it pulled up, is kind of the this is the biggest, or one of the biggest cards of an influencer, Jeff Wilson. And you can kind of see, when the product first came out, I mean, it was almost $200 for his little short print here. And then it's kind of gone downhill. And then if you look at the last 180 days, it's kind of gone sideways between that $20 to $60 range, $20 to $50. So that's not a great example, but really to figure out whether these cards are going to be worth money long term, we just kind of need to look and see, all right, if we graded something to PSA 10 from last year, what do these look like? And so like a red foil of Adley, which is a little on the rare side, that's going for 56 here just the other day. You've got, this Mike Trout insert card going for 31. The insert cards don't usually go for a whole lot. Shohei inserts, going around 20. Here's a Julio blue foil that went for 13. And it's not his rookie, so I'm kind of not surprised. Let's see, Shohei red foil 51. I want to see if there's like a Corbin Carroll rookie card or something like that. Aaron Judge PSA 10 went for 20. Bo Jackson went for 50. That's kind of surprising to me. James Outman rookie card went for 25. And so you can see they're not going to go for a ton, even if you get a PSA 10 a year later, right? If you're one of the first ones to the market with a Shohei PSA 10, I bet you can get $50-$60 for something like that. Same with like an Adley. Here's an Adley rookie card from the set. It's going for 30 right now, but if you were one of the first to get this PSA 10, you might be able to get $60, $70, $80 for it. So that's kind of the play for us is, if we do rip this, we hope to grab, anywhere from 3 to 6 or so cards that might be worth grading, and trying to get that 10, hopefully like Ellie De La Cruz rookie cards being one of them. But when it comes to staying power, we're going to give this a 1 out of 5. It's not going to be very good long term, but it does have some potential to make some money. If you do get PSA 10s, when you get them back, you can sell them. So finally, let's look at the price. This is where really I think this is a standout product, because it only costs $45 for a box. And so even though the checklist isn't great, even though the gradability isn't great, even though the staying power isn't great, this thing is only $45, and you have the potential to get some pretty big autographs, 1 in every 3 boxes. And it's a lot of fun. It looks cool. And so Blowout Cards here has them for 45. David Adams has, you have blasters for 25. You have hobby boxes for 45. It's hard to beat this price and to still have the potential to get some big cards like Ellie and Evan Carter. So because of the price, as far as price goes, I'll give it a 5 out of 5 on that. So overall, if we add up all the scores, out of 20 points, I give it a 12. And because it's so cheap, because the price is very reasonable, we'll lean towards ripping a few of these and just seeing what happens, because if you're out $50, you're out $50. It's not a big deal. But we've seen sets that have checklists that are just as bad as this, but they cost like $300 or $400 or $500, and it's crazy. So at least if the checklist is middle of the road here, you're only out $50. That's pretty good. So it's going to get my stamp of approval. Here at Card Curiosity, we think there's a decent chance to be able to make some money back, especially if you get a little bit lucky. But you probably shouldn't expect it. But because of the low price point, it's a lot of fun. So we'll go ahead and say, let's rip it. It's a fun box, fun product, and it's a good kickoff to the start of the MLB season. So if you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Until next time, stay curious.